Well, everybody, we're going to try a Basement Thoughts again. It's Sunday. This might be a little longer one. When I do these, I find that I ramble and I try to cut them short and I don't post them at all. So apparently there's nothing to sell anymore right now, nothing new on the market. All the influencers on YouTube have gone through DACs. So for the last couple of weeks, I've been getting inundated with acoustic panels. And it might not be my system. It could be my room. And why is that? Well, because they don't have another DAC to sell. And that's what I've been saying for a year. I don't know a whole lot. I've only been doing this a year. But I do know that all they're trying to do is sell you something. So let's talk about sound. And let me give you my perspective on what it is I'm chasing. And you might say, oh, bullshit, because of the eclectic mix I have here. I am chasing what I've already stated in other videos. The sound of Leonard Cohen, 7 seats, 7 rows back, and how that sounded to me. There was a man that could sing clear, didn't need a whole lot behind him, and it was lovely. Anything else after that will just shine, because the more you add, and for my ears, the more sound gets blurred. And you can get speakers that make it clearer. That's not the point. The point is, how deep is your wallet? But anyways, what this subject is about, what I want to keep it focused on, if I can stay focused, is sound and what it is you're looking for. I think, like most anything, like a good dinner or anything that was good, an event was associated with it. For me, it was a concert. For most dinners that I ever had that were really exceptional, that I thought the food was fabulous and it was just a great night, it was always the conversation with other people. When I look back, that's what it amounted to. And then that made everything good. I can't imagine somebody buying an album or a CD and basing their whole system off of, oh, I gotta have that, or like I don't know, Peter Frampton or Tubular Bells or, just something those were impactful albums, but I can't imagine you basing your whole stereo system on that. Today I watched a video of an expensive audio store here, and it's actually, if you watch some of my other videos, you'll know probably who it is, because that's where I was going to start. The guy basically bought the same system I was going to buy a little over a year ago. And he came back into the store and they filmed it. And he says he just can't get imaging. And I am wondering how that can possibly be. How can you possibly not get imaging on, if you got 2 little 2-way speakers like I have behind the turntables there? I can get imaging with those. Those are Infinity 102s, SM 102s, and they sound fabulous. So anyways, down here, I'm going to just zoom in. On the left, on that pedestal, there's something that looks like it has a cross on it right next to a little fan. That's my UE speaker, my portable speaker. That's the first thing I bought in 2019 when I started, dabbling back into music and frustrated with a surround sound system. I was underneath our Camaro getting it ready for the up and coming car shows with my wife cleaning. And I had that thing on low, but when I put it underneath the car, it always sounds good. It's the Mega Blast, not the Mega Boom. Everybody bought the Mega Boom. The Mega Blast is obsolete. You can't get it no more. Apparently everybody wants a lot of bass. That thing sounded so incredible. And I actually stopped what I was doing and trying to figure out what's going on here. I do have a ceiling, which is the car. I was underneath the engine, which has, ports going all the way to the sky, and, the other sounds are going to be bouncing off of, engine parts and ricocheting all over the place, tires and stuff, and escaping under the car, escaping where it can out the top. And it never sounded so great. So I started thinking about these acoustic panels that everybody's pushing. Even making them yourself is going to cost you a couple $100 for, 4 panels. And I don't think they're going to do shit. Not the way that they're having you install them. I think you have to have, if you're going to put panels up, and I have no experience, so just take this for me rambling. They're going to have to be separated from the wall by at least an inch. You need a gap. Some sound has got to go behind. And you've got that absorption behind there too, but let it bounce behind and it trap itself that way. But it flows freer that way. It's not just... First of all, they say bass is hard to catch and hold on to. And that's true, because you're feeling it in the floor. You'll feel it in the floor. What are you going to do there? I mean, that's what you're looking for, isn't it? To feel that feeling in the floor. But primarily, you need to know what it is you're looking for. I know that if I go through all my speakers, the heresies up on top are going to give me the flavor of back in the day when I was 17 and 18 again, and we were living life to its fullest and sitting down and listening to some music. When I go to the Cornwalls underneath, I get a full out, well, let's just do this. These are the heresies. These are the Cornwalls. They opened right up, didn't they? Same volume. They just opened right up. Both of those speakers are wonderful. If I had just one on and I turned it on and I didn't know where I was, I came down here and just turned it on, I'd be mesmerized. I have image instantly. It's right in the center. Again, roughly about the height of my Advanced Paris integrated M. If I go with the, let me see if I can turn this, the tall, slender ones, the Dunleavys, it's a lot smoother. Voice is forward. The voice is prominent on them. It's not, blaring. It's just more prominent. If I go with the JBLs right here, the voice is back and it's a lot more bass. The JBLs are, brand new. So that's a modern speaker. The Dunleavys are from the late 90s. The Cornwalls are 79, and I believe the heresies are 80, 1980, the year. So I go for a lot of different sounds. I don't limit myself. I know what I'm looking for. And on any given day, depending on my hearing, I need to adjust if I want to enjoy it. And I also don't blast the music either. 90 dB is an exceptional day. That only happens every great once in a while. 80 gets to be too loud. This is closing in on 80 right now. So we're at 11 minutes. And my whole point is, before you start making panels and you start sinking money on just the wool, if you buy the 2x4s, I mean, what are 2x4s now? They're $3-4 a piece, and you need what, 3 of them to make one panel. The wool, when I looked, was 6 sheets was $110 plus shipping and tax, and then all the fabric and all that. So each panel is going to cost you $60-70 if you do it yourself. But I have lovely sound here. When I go to a concert, there's nothing to reflect sound other than human beings' bodies in my way. And I love it. That's what I'm trying to duplicate. If you go to a symphony and the hall is set up for the symphony, well, then you have a treated room, semi-treated. Not every one of them can be perfectly treated. It's just too expensive. So then I would say you can compensate for that. But it just strikes me how the influencers all swing. And they all levitate towards the same thing, like flies on shit. And it irritates me. And I sit and listen to the lies they say just so they can make $1 off of you. And it's really what it is, $1 off of you. Also was told this week, too, that in one of the messages that, well, you can't really duplicate the sound of the Dunleavys. And that may be totally true, but that seems to be another myth I just don't buy into. If we couldn't differentiate the sounds, then we wouldn't be able to hear music on a radio or TV anywhere, right? Or if we wanted to listen to another person that says everything should be flatlined and you got to do all this stuff and put all this stuff into your speakers to flatline it, which I do believe some of that is, necessary, then all of our speakers would sound roughly the same. And then that other first thing about YouTube not being able to give you a good representation of the sound would be true. But I listen to YouTube. That's all I listen to, and I listen to a lot of music, and I can differentiate the different things. In fact, even on my videos, sometimes I think they put it up in 4K, and other times I think they throw it in a tunnel. Okay, so I am at their mercy, and I know that I believe it can be improved if I want to pay a fee. Well, I'm not paying a fee. So that's my basement thoughts for this week, and it's sound. And I'm just going to say one more time, you need to understand what it is you're looking for. I mean, we all know what's unpleasant. If you have something unpleasant, then maybe move your speakers around. As you can see, I moved mine again. Actually, everything's going to keep on moving because, let's turn you around, I lost all my furniture. Yeah, we bought new furniture for upstairs, and when that comes in, then 2 recliners are coming down here, and then I'll have to resituate the speakers once again because that does impact it. Like I've said before, when it comes to sound, even just shaking your head while you're listening to the music or moving your body, rocking to the music, changes the sound every time you move. Put your arms up behind your head when you're listening to music. You'll change the sound. Everything changes the sound. And this is coming from a guy whose right ear is half deaf. The one thing I've learned to do is listen to music, and I've learned to listen to it quietly. And I think I've done that part real well. So, a long-winded video on sound. Just think about what you want before you go off and start sinking money everywhere. Because if you don't see the pattern, I certainly do in my ear. All these people are out there to do is make a living off you. afraid to play any music because they do, and it's a copyright strike, which means nothing to them. It doesn't hurt them in any way. They're just not going to get paid for that video. And actually, as far as I understand, the way I read it, I can play up to 20 seconds of a video for demonstration and not get a copyright strike. But I don't do that. Would I love to have people send me equipment and try it out for free, or from what I understand, be able to buy it at a 60% discount? Or even a 40% discount? Yeah, I'd like to have that option, but it ain't never going to happen. I'm looking to do things here and share it with people. That's all. So let me carry this on. We're going to go right up to 20. So we're at 17. So just because you're going to look at all the speakers and say, well, he can't get the right sound. Well, that's a fact. I can't. I like a variety of sound. I have 3 different turntables with 3 different styluses. I have 1 CD player. I have 1 integrated amp. I don't have, well, I guess I have a lot, but they're in the back and they're all broken. And I just moved up to that so I didn't have to keep on playing around. But I'm a speaker person. I like speakers. And they all have different sound, and I can appreciate all of them. Just like I can appreciate an album with, crackling and stuff. I played an album on Last Track Tuesdays this last week, and I did it for fun because the first track was literally, my tone arm was flying up in the air and bouncing down on the, it was so warped. So I took, the last track was, in the center that wasn't warped there, and it was beautiful, played beautifully. So I thought that was funny. I didn't get any responses from that, but just watching that record come by with a big old loop in it, still think it's funny. But that's what I'm going to share with you. You can do with it what you want. I don't know anything, but I do know that's bullshit. And if you do put panels up, I can almost assure you, you'll have better luck if you gap them. And if you have a space behind you like I do, where I think it would be beneficial to me, because when I go back in the back, which is about still 20 feet behind me, and weightlift, I can hear the bass acting up back there. So if that's reflecting and coming back my way, some bass trap standing up would, like a kind of a broken up room divider, wouldn't be a bad idea. And I'll try that with some other things before I spend hundreds of dollars on, I can put up curtains, I can, do a lot of other things to mitigate my expenses. So anyways, that's my thoughts from the basement this week. And I am going to post this one. Yeah, I ramble. Probably the only person on this earth, and I've said it before, that can keep up with me is my daughter. Because I ramble and I roll in different directions as I'm talking. Thank you, and I'll catch up with you later.